All right, ready for next one? Okay, hi. Okay, we're going funky on this one. Are you funky? You feeling funky? Okay. Okay, she's like, it's different. Okay. So this really expensive headpiece is actually from Amazon, and it was $13 because it's like a ski cap thing, or like maybe a scuba diving thing. I don't know, but I bought it because it was because it was $13 in red, so I bought it. Like, that's how things go. Okay, so we have that, and we got kind of sparkly and funky makeup, but that's not the creativity part. Creativity part's going to be the lighting. So one of the things that I taught once on one of my creative lives, actually my second one I ever did, but the first shooting one I ever did, I used Kino flows, constant fluorescent lights. So what they are is they're kind of, some of the lights in here even have that look. They're long fluorescent tubes, and they're daylight balanced, and they don't flicker. They're like movie lights, and they use them in all different sorts of movies. And they're also nice because they're not hot. So what I would do is I bought some because there was a store going out of business. They had some of these Kino Flow movie lights, so I bought them used. And you can take the bulbs out and put them into any configuration you want. Problem is, Kino Flow's new for one of these is like, I think it's like $1,200. That's not very cost effective. Okay, so then I saw something else that I was like, oh, this is cool. They've got these new things that came out, which are ice lights. Let's see if I can turn this on. So the ice lights, okay, cool. So the ice lights, it's the same concept. It's a fluorescent tube light. You can turn the power up and down. The reason that a lot of photographers like this is because you can really shape the light on the face. It's battery powered, so you can take it out in location. People use it for video. But I think it's $500. So we're gonna go back in the not cost-effective category, but it exists. And so you could rent this if you wanted to try it, or if you own one and a friend owns one, you know, you can put them together that way. So these are called ice lights, made by Westcott. Do you have yours around? Okay, no, it's cool. I'll say what we have here, and you can get yours whenever you want. Okay, John made one as well, so he's gonna grab that. So what we're doing for this is we bought together these two fluorescent lights, including their plug, were $22.97 together total. Okay, and so it's the same idea, but the major difference is how dim it is. And it's not going to be daylight balanced. So maybe for portraits, you shoot black and white, like, you know what I mean? Or you take a custom white balance, maybe use an expo disc, or you can take a custom white balance off a gray card if you want the color to look right. But these are just, you know, like Home Depot kind of inexpensive fluorescent lights. Now, John is like super ridiculously crafty, and so this is for those of you that are a little more hands-on. Would you like to explain your contraption?
Basically, I just got these tubes are LEDs. They're made to replace fluorescent tubes. And so it runs with AC current. So if you're comfortable with soldering with hot wires, you just run a switch onto this, attach the two ends, and put tape over the ends, and it's cold. Doesn't heat up, so it's LEDs instead of fluorescent in this one. It's a little closer to daylight, but again, a lot of times it's easier to shoot in black and white.
Yeah, amen. So I thought that was pretty awesome. Yes.
John, people can find some of the instructions also on how you made that on your website, right? Cornicello.com.
And click on John's blog.
John's blog, great.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Thanks, John.
Yeah, and I've seen what he does. They look great. They look awesome. The Kino Flows, they're nice because they're big, but like I said, if you're going for cost effective, that's awesome. I'm not necessarily comfortable with soldering hot wires.
$24 including the wires and switches.
I think they're awesome. For me, when they were most popular for me, was with two groups of people. High school seniors. I took 4 of them, not those particular, but the Kino Flows, and put them in a tic-tac-toe. And so it gave you the light of a ring light, but with really cool, funky catch lights. So it was just something a little bit different than what they would get elsewhere. And then also, I had a lot of performing artists, singers, and rappers that really liked it, either because their eyes would look really cool or they wore sunglasses. So it made funky catch lights. So think ring light, but funkier. So I'm gonna have you take a seat and we're gonna test this out. I really like John, so I might have to hire John to make me some. What do you think, John?
If I can find the parts again.
You find the parts again, okay, good. All right. So I'm gonna keep it nice and close, and I'm going to change the angles slightly. If I have them too far apart, what'll happen is I'll have like a dead spot down the middle of the face where it's not going to be lit. So can I get a little more?
We can back her up.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Slide that to there.
Okay. I'm gonna try to bring these in just a little more. I might have to angle. Okay. All right, maybe there. This is ideal. Yeah? Okay. Okay. Will you hold this one? Okay. We'll bring it nice and close. I've also done it with, so here's the shapes I've done. Triangle at the top. I've done a box that they look through. Tic-tac-toe. I've done an X and a V. Oh, cool. There's not, nothing in particular that's right. I'm going to grab my 85 for this one. And they're not flickering, so I'm going to use my aperture priority instead. My white balance, I'm probably going to go with auto, and they look pink with some yellow, with some. The other thing, I'm going to just defend myself. Since I'm shooting, normally I wouldn't be shooting with those, so it's also going to be messed up because I've got some daylight in, and so we're gonna see color and then maybe embrace some black and white. Okay, all right. Let's see. So I'm going to shoot super wide open because I want her eyes to be the focus because that's the an interesting part. Good. Let's take it right here. Let's take a quick test. Oh yeah, that color. So I'm going to switch to black and white. It's that bad. Okay, I don't know if you can tell, right? Like, what color is that? It's beautiful. Ken, I love you. Okay, so hold on. I got distracted talking to you guys and went way past the button for this. Okay, there we go. I literally went all the way around. Here we go. Okay, so I'm changing to monochrome, which is black and white in my camera. Guess what? I'm shooting raw, so it's still there. But I'm looking at the color, I'm like, I really need it to not be. So, okay, I'm going to shoot as wide open as I think that I can, which for me, I can get away with 2.2 and still know I have my eyes sharp. I know that. And so I just want her eyes sharp. So what I'm gonna have you do is, can you scoot your bottom back a little bit? And then she's gonna lean her chest forward to me with chin out and down. And what that means is her eyes will be that much closer to me than the rest of her body that just the eyes will be sharp and everything else will melt away. So it gives me a little more intensity to the eyes. Okay, so you angle them to the front just a little bit. Because she moved a little bit. Right there. Okay. Okay, now will you look at me? Good. Excellent. Focus. And I'd probably crop in a bit, but you guys will get the cool idea. So like the catch lights look pretty cool, and I can, if I have many of these, I can put them in other configurations. So this was a high school senior, like all of them loved it. For guys, I underexposed and increased the clarity, so it would get really gritty, and you'd see a lot of texture, and they'd make some kind of manly looking face. And then for women, I tend to overexpose, and it was more like ring light, and it gave you really smooth, even, flat lighting. So it works either way. And I would crop in on this one because I don't find any interest in the top of her head or below the clavicles. So I would crop just below the tattoo and then just above the eyes. So we're kind of in that realm. All right. Great. Questions on that? So we had Kino flows, do it yourself with LED tubes meant to replace fluorescence. You can buy Kino flows used. You could rent or buy ice lights, or these are the $12 fluorescents, and then just tape them in whatever configuration you want.
I do just have a comment as we move along from Joyce, who says, Lindsay, thank you so much for all of these amazing creative ideas. I can't wait to try them. And I also think John is such a cool dude. So thank you for the lighting ideas as well.
He's pretty much the coolest.
Yeah.
Excellent.